Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Earrings Off. We want to invite you to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook at Earrings Off Podcast and on Instagram at The Earrings Off Podcast.
Welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa.
Well, hello, partner.
Hi there. What's going on?
Well, what's going on is, can you believe it, that it is now Thanksgiving? We are almost there.
Almost there is here, child.
I know, right? I know.
It's here. It's here. And it's unbelievable that this year has gone by so freaking fast. And we say this every year now, right? And what does that mean? What does it mean? What does it mean about time? What does it mean?
I tell you. Well, we want to welcome our listeners to our Thanksgiving episode because, as Teresa said, it's here. And so we got to talk about it and talk about what's ahead for our Thanksgiving and the holiday season actually coming up. And Teresa, you're right. We always say that, but every year it's like so much is just packed into our schedule that you look up and it's Sunday and then you check again and we're back to another weekend. It's just lightning fast.
Lightning fast.
Yeah,
Lightning,
I tell you.
lightning fast.
Yeah, yeah. So we traveled late October, so I don't think we're going to get back on the road. We're not going to get into the holiday traffic or, the airport congestion. I think we're just going to stay local for the holidays. And I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Selfishly, I'm happy about that.
I don't know if you'll be happy because you're going to have some more people at the table.
That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. Yeah.
I tell you.
We're not traveling either. So our family focus or tradition, I guess, if you will, has shifted a bit. And we're in a new phase in our household because the girls are gone, right? And so I look forward to them coming for dinner, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're in a different phase rather than us packing up and traveling to family. I'm excited about them packing up and coming to us.
Isn't that so nice? And
Yes.
Teresa, believe it or not, one day you'll be packing up and going to them.
Yeah.
Sadly, I don't see that in my future anytime soon,
Stop
but
playing.
I'm jealous of the people who get to experience that. So, yeah.
Stop saying that. It, of course, absolutely will happen for you.
I tell you, but also, Teresa, I did pretty well at Halloween this year. Because of the move, I wasn't in my usual environment, so I didn't do all of the getting the candy stuff, and all of that. And as a result, since I didn't have it around me, there wasn't any temptation. And I think I did better this Halloween than I ever have.
Well, so that's not an issue at our house because, once the girls left, we stopped doing Halloween. Plus, we didn't have any trick-or-treaters. That's really what stopped us. We would buy the candy and then we wouldn't have any. But guess what? Because of this warm weather, we had so many children on our street that I was like, I'm so sorry that we didn't get candy. But last year we had no children on our street. And this year it's just the adults. It was just the adults standing around outside having their adult beverages and waving to one another. But we didn't. So we haven't. But this year was quite different. And I was sorry I didn't have candy. I didn't have anything like that.
I'm saying that to say, I hope this Thanksgiving that I practice some restraint
Oh,
and,
gosh.
be
No.
my, oh, what you would say? it's not a thing for you. It is a very real thing for me and other people. You get to the Thanksgiving holiday, and that is our really out of all the holidays, that's really the sort of big one in terms of the meal. I don't even think you do as much for Christmas because the focus is on, you know, the gifts and all of that at Christmas and birthdays and all the other celebrations. Easter is a pretty big holiday if you celebrate it, but Thanksgiving, isn't that the big food holiday?
All holidays for the Black family is a big food holiday.
But
Come on
okay,
now.
but I get that. But wouldn't you say that Thanksgiving is the biggest one?
I would say so. But here's the deal, Lou. So don't say it like I don't have pounds to lose, okay? But what I do for for this stretch, starting the week of Thanksgiving to the first of the year, is that I'm mindful not to gain any
I
weight.
know, right? Yeah,
So I don't gain, like people generally gain, what is it, 6 to 10 pounds between
yeah.
Thanksgiving and the first of the year. Well, I don't do that.
That's good to me.
But I still indulge. I still eat all the things. But so what does that mean? What does that mean? Let's talk about it. That means I have to be active. I have to make sure that I get my exercise because I still eat all the things. I love the cakes. I love the pies. I love all the
See there, that's where we
stuff that
differ.
the
I'm just as active during the holidays, so it's not that. I tend to overindulge. And so that's what I have to be mindful of. And I'm trying to remember, I think last year might have been the first year in forever that I didn't actually gain weight during the holidays. So I was
that's all.
right proud of myself. So you're right. We have to be mindful that we stay active. But for me, it's just being aware that there's a lot of temptation and making some smarter choices and being careful on my portion sizes. I
That is
can
a thing.
indulge, but I'm gonna have to reel it in a little bit, and we have some challenges with that. So
So so another thing that people can do, Lou, is to remember to be mindful, of course, but being hydrated is another big deal.
yeah,
Because when you're thirsty, believe it or not, it mimics hunger.
it
So
really does.
so if you just have an extra glass of water or be mindful about the amount of water you drink during the holiday season, you might eat a little less.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the
That's
smaller plate sizes is a great tip.
yeah. And I tell you also, just being mindful that we don't stress ourselves out during the holidays, set these
Mhm.
unbelievable expectations that, everything has to be wonderful, has to be perfect. And, you're so committed to your schedule and what you're doing and not allowing any grace in it and any flexibility. And that tends to put more stress on us during the holiday seasons because let's face it, when you look at social media, everybody's having a wonderful time. Everybody's living in these grand spaces and they've got everything together. And particularly during the holiday season, that can sort of make you feel a bit inadequate, that your life is you're not living as grand as other folks, and maybe you don't quite have it as much together. And we just need to take a minute. Breathe in, breathe out, exhale, and take it down a notch.
So this is where I struggle, the stress. I don't strive for perfection, but I love to cook, right?
You do. You are
And
such a wonderful cook.
so I make myself crazy over the meals that I prepare and and selecting the ingredients, and I'm not a decorator. I don't get on social media, so that doesn't influence me at all. But for my in my own house. I just want to make sure that everybody has something to eat that they like. So I'm not a perfectionist, so that's not my issue. And I don't get on social media to see all of the grandness of what
Mhm.
people are experiencing. But what I do concern myself with and stress over is the fact that because I love to cook and because I want everyone in the household to have something that they enjoy to eat, that can become a bit overwhelming because
Yeah,
we have so many pallets in this house,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so that becomes stressful, and I do it to myself. They don't ask me to do it. The family doesn't ask
yeah,
me to do it,
yeah.
but it is something that I take on myself. And so that means that I'm up early a lot. That means I'm in bed late a lot. But what has changed for me for this 2024 year is that one negotiable non-negotiable for me, it has been my sleep. So
Hmm.
I have, even in the midst of planning, we got a big party coming up
Yeah,
next
yeah,
weekend.
yeah,
Even in the midst of planning that, it was like, ooh, look at the time. I've got to go to bed,
yeah,
right? So I have to make sure I've been making sure to get at least 7 hours of rest. And so that I hope I will carry through the holiday season,
yeah.
making sure so that I don't um stress out. And plus my daughter has mentioned, she's like, Mom, I do not want to come home to you being frantic about the holiday.
Yeah,
So she's
yeah,
already forewarned me. She's like,
yeah,
relax, breathe, it'll be okay.
yeah. Well, and I think why I like why I love Thanksgiving so is because, well, okay, we do know I love the good food, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I love the connection with
Oh,
family and friends.
oh yeah.
It's just the holiday where you get to spend some time in the presence of people that you love who mean a lot to you, to just make sure you stay connected. And I just love that about the holidays and the holiday. And it forces us to not only be connected, but because the whole holiday is about being thankful and being grateful, it reminds us to keep our focus on that, to just express gratitude and be thankful. So, yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
I totally do. But I would like for us to, um, you remember, I think it was either earlier this year or last year that the Surgeon General put out this report regarding loneliness being an
Oh,
epidemic.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it has worsened, Lou. That
Wow.
yeah, so now not only is it we were then focused on the elderly, right?
Right, right.
But it is now a problem for even the young people who are
Wow.
actively on social media.
Right,
They
right.
still find themselves lonely. So, if you are not with your family, I would like to provide some tips for people to try to keep those connections open and to
Yeah,
try to and just to do things to keep themselves from being lonely, make a human connection, not just,
yeah.
you know. So one of the things that warms my heart about technology, and we talked a lot about this during the pandemic, is video, being able to video chat people who
Oh,
live
yeah,
far away.
yeah, yeah.
That is a real helpful tool just to put your eyes on your loved one that might
Mm,
live miles and miles away from you. Take advantage of that technology. Have a group chat, even if it's on the phone, right, with your
yeah,
friends and family. And if you don't have friends and family, and I pray that no one is that's not anyone's truth. But if by chance it is, volunteer. There are so many
yeah,
soup kitchens. There's so many nonprofits that are feeding homeless people during the holidays. Get out and help someone.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
do whatever it is that you can do to have another human being's face in front of you.
yeah,
Someone, even if you can't touch them, you know?
yeah, yeah. That's a great tip because I tell you, Teresa, I recently um attended a family event, my sister's wedding anniversary party. you feel rejuvenated and revived when you get in the midst of a festive occasion or with people you love. It's almost like oxygen being just going straight into your veins. You just feel so revived and refreshed because your body, at some level, craves that interaction with people who matter. And your point about find some way to get in front of people and to also, that serves a dual purpose. Make sure that um, we're volunteering during the season, that we're making sure that we share with others who may not, who may be a bit challenged in terms of feeding their families during this season. We can give to food banks. We can volunteer to serve in different capacities. So we can write checks and make sure that we give to worthy causes during this season to make sure that other people have what they need to feed their families and to be less stressed financially during this season. So all of that, all of those are ways that we not only can stay connected, but we can also be a blessing to others uh, during this time. So again, this is our Thanksgiving episode. We are grateful for you here at It Rings Off. Your support and listening to us, your kind words, they come at the most opportune times.
That is so true.
And you may just think that you're, you know, complimenting us or telling us about an episode, but it lets us know that you are engaged. And we thank you most sincerely for that. So here in Earrings Off, absolutely one of the things that we are most grateful for is the opportunity to be on this podcast and the opportunity to interact with you. We wish you all the very best during Thanksgiving and always.
Take good care.